I'm back. Went and got my rucksack from the base station camper and haven't been in it for a while. Of course, you know I had that injury, so I'm going to get ready for possible hike in September when it cools down a little bit. So bear with me. We're going to take this thing apart. I'm going to see what I still got and make sure that the cans are still full and nothing's melted inside, because I had it at the base station and the temperature got up to about 110 out there. So stand by, we're going to start going through this thing. Okay, let's start at the bottom. I have my winter sleeping bag attached to the very bottom, and it's got to come off first. Put the summer flannel or fleece sleeping bag inside, which will be enough for September's weather. I also have a liner, so I'll be plenty warm without the extra warm 30-degree sleeping bag. So let's get that off, and then we'll get started on the rest of the rucksack. Well, okay folks, going a little crazy today. Getting a little warm out there, 90 degrees or so, and it's the day after I started this thing. Whoops, almost fell off the chair. Well, anyways, what I wanted to do was start taking this apart, setting on the table behind me, so I can remember what's in it. August, September time frame should start cooling down, and I think I'm going to get up there and do some hiking again. Now, I'm not positive. I'm getting my neck checked tomorrow, the 2nd of August. So we're going to do this one step at a time. First, we're going to take everything out of each pack as we go. One of the packs is kind of half empty already, but I've been watching a lot of YouTubes. A lot of my buddies, really big monkey out there, Bushcraft Bartons, I think it is. Quite a few of the guys. So I've been watching some strangers too, in that they're saying, hey, don't carry what you don't need. Now, are we talking shit hits the fan? Are we talking bugging out? Are we talking camping? Are we talking hiking? I'm trying to get my rucksack together for all the above. So, see, I got the fan on behind me and I got my different flag up. There you go. Second Amendment, firm believer in it. Yeah, I carry 24/7. So let's get started on this thing and get today's video out of the way. I carried a radio with me. Well, I think it's a waste of time. Trying to stay informed of what's going on, it's a good deal. But I'm carrying my HT, my ham radio, my walkie-talkie, so they call it. And on there, it has an FM channel. So if there is radio on the air when shit hits the fan, I'm not so sure it's going to be very effective. I'm not so sure it's going to get the news out that you need to hear. But being a ham now and a ham radio will do that. So ounces, true, but it's still weight. This will be put aside and not put back in. I'm not going without my pocket rocket, my MSR stove. Now, if you remember, I had this set up to fit under my tree stove. So I can go to any tree, put up my stove, set this under it with the canister under it. It'll fit. I can stand up to cook. I don't have to be bent over. I can keep an eye out all the way around. I can hide behind the tree when doing this. So this is going to stay in there. Besides, it can give you much needed heat in your tent if you need it. I've added Velcro on the side so the lid won't come off. just something small. I can use the Velcro also later to attach tarps, attach my glasses to the inside of the tent, whatever need be. Tent stakes. I got about 6 or 8 tent stakes in there. Is it needed? Maybe not. But you get out there in your tent and it's raining, and if you don't have your sides buckled down, you're going to get water inside. So I think I'm going to keep them. Besides, they could be used for other things too. Even a mini grill over top of a small fire. Who knows what you can use tent stakes for, but they're there. The stuff I'm not taking is going on the table. Now, I've talked about this before, and as you can see, it's expanded a little bit. And again, I would rather use this than DEET. Lemon eucalyptus. It's got that minty smell to it. I've heard a lot of bugs don't like mint. They're selling that new Sergeant spray now online and on TV to keep mice away from your food. So I like this one here. It's a nice smell. It gives you a cooling effect when you put it on, not like DEET that's all greasy. I really like this. Writing instrument. Now, I have a pen in here, but I believe the pen's going to go and replace it with a pencil. I'm going to go out and get a couple of them golf pencils if I don't already have one in here, and put a golf pencil in there. That way the ink won't get on everything. It's hard to write on wet paper, whether it be ink or pencil, but a pencil will outlast an ink pen 10 times over. So this is gone. And I'm pretty sure you all know what that is. We'll find the other half of this in the top part of the bag. Camp soap. It's not mandatory, but I'll tell you what, that little pack of single 50-sheet tablets, when rinsed with your hands with some water, brings up a nice lather. You can wash your face with it. I think it's invaluable. So that's it right there. They're single sheets. To keep it a little bit drier, I put it in a Altoids can. Well, speak about a pencil. That's why I'm going through this, because I've actually forgotten in less than a year what's in here. Also have a pencil cover for it. Now, this came off of a mechanical pencil that draftsmen use so they don't break their tips. But hey, there it is. It's got a little bit of an eraser left in it. That's going to stay with it. Never know when you got to blow the nose, and they also work as toilet paper. In the first pack, the first outlying zippered area, I keep my water purifier stuff. Now I'm using the word purifier. Water filter. Also have the squeeze bag with it. Now, I have 2 of these. One of them on the lid will say dirty water. The other one will say nothing, like this one. This is for clean water. This is for putting dirty water in through the filter. So I'm carrying 2 of these and 1 of these. Everybody knows these things are invaluable. It's your large hanky. Now, one of my first trips up on the Appalachian Trail, I used one of these to act as a headdress around the back, because I kept getting hit by the horsefly, the big green horsefly, and they bite hard. So these are invaluable. Wrapping up your hand, wrapping up your arm, wrapping up your knee, your leg, your foot, they're invaluable. something very important. Right there, first aid kit. Now, I've included in this first aid kit a sewing kit. Not a big one. And for all of those that don't know, this is an issue item in the military, or it was. These little packs were made in plastic, foldable, with a little material. The same thing I have in here, needles and thread, button, safety pin. They were called a wife, W-I-F-E. And there was a big joke going around for a long time in the Army saying, everybody gets issued a wife. Well, that's what's called the wife, the sewing kit. Just a little piece of trivia there. Look it up, that's what it was. Still digging in the outside. Something round. And I think this is going to be a pain in the butt. Now this is one long length of plastic bag material. You pull out what you need, you tie a knot in the end, you got a plastic bag. But it's a couple ounces, quite a few ounces in this thing. And as you can see, it's packed pretty tight inside there. There's a whole lot of bag material. Again, I think it's a waste to carry. It's just weight. So this is not going back in the bag. One last item. 5-hour energy. I didn't believe in this stuff at first. I didn't think this could give it to you. But I was up on the app trail and tested one of these, and I could not believe how it helped. Now it says 5-hour, but don't believe that. You might get 3 hours, especially if you're hiking, out of one of these that you can actually feel you've got energy. What's in here is niacin, vitamin B6, that helps. Folic acid, that you get that in coffee. Vitamin B12, another good item to have, gives you energy. And salt, because what are you doing when you're hiking? You're sweating. Sodium replaces a lot of that. Now I know it's, quote, not salt, but there is only 1% in here of that. So this stuff here, I was shocked. Now this is sugar-free and it's only 4 calories. You don't get your calorie intake out of it, but you do get your energy. So I'm going to keep that in there. I believe that's it for this first pack. That is it. We're done with the first pack. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this portion of the video, and we'll get back to it tomorrow when I feel like doing more. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, here we go. Day 3. I'm going to get into the second part of the rucksack so I can refresh my memory, as I said in the last 2 films. So first thing I wanted to do is start on the top. I keep this available. Little camouflaged Eye Protect light. It's a LED with high, low, and off. Keep it on the outside because when it starts getting dark at night, you don't want to go digging into your pack for it. It's got a nice clip on the back and it gets really tight. Everybody has seen my tree stove. That's it, packed into a nice little flat thing. A little on the heavy side, and I'm going to go get my scale and weigh it right now. Stand by. Okay, I got the scale. See how much this thing weighs. 1 pound, 3.8 ounces. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not. Maybe not. But 1 pound 3. So it's a good hefty stove. It's going to last a while. Plus it has the windshields and it has the bottom base where I set the canister. Coolants. I'm very happy with this. This is a push-pull. As you can see, the teeth go straight down. A lot of coolants have the cut only when pulling, when you go forward, it doesn't cut. This, you have to be a little bit more careful with because you can bend and break it. But this is push-pull. Everybody knows you gotta have everywhere. You gotta have plenty of paracord. I'm dropping all of it. Gotta have plenty of paracord out there. I'm not so sure I like the camo on top here, but the dark green, that's definitely 550 cord. I'll pick them up later. Right in the rain tablet, very important for that pencil. Leave notes. Nasal spray. Here's a question for you. For those of you that go out there, bushcraft pardons, really big monkey. I was just watching a wasp trying to get in here. Really big monkey. Cold craven. When you get out there in your tent, you're sleeping overnight. Does your nose clog up? Or is it just my big snaz? I've been having a lot of trouble with it. When you get out there, you get that humidity inside the tent. And you all know, everybody knows what I'm talking about, that you get a lot of moisture inside a tent. It clogs me up. So I take a nasal spray with me. If you're walking in its dusty and dirty conditions, I like to spray, but then I don't inhale it. I spray it and then I spit it back out again. Keeps you a little bit cleaner. Oh, everybody knows what this is. The proverbial shit shovel. Gotta have one. Gotta take one with you. Not only do you use it for burying your bad stuff, but if you have to dig a hole to get a fire down inside, a hole where it's not going to be seen at a distance, you want to have a small shovel with you to dig that hole. Let me re-aim this camera a little bit. Be right back. Okay, camera's re-aimed. Something very close to my heart when I get out there, and I enjoy doing it the bushcrafting way, but you can't beat one of them. Light your fire a whole lot faster. If you don't have the right materials or if it's damp, these are invaluable. All right, that's that in its zipper pouch. Why I got two, I don't know. You really only need one. If you're careful with it, it'll last 2-3 days. By then I intend on being out of the mountains if it's going to rain that long. So I think I'd rather go with the black one in the bag. The black one also can draw heat from the sun if you need to warm up. Where the clear one, it's like a clear plastic bag. To me, it's more or less useless. So that's going out. So we're in the container here where we're talking paper products. I got this from Coleman, and these are 12 by 12 towelettes. They look like pills, but as you can see in instructions, they open up. They become very, very handy for washing yourself off, washing your hands, washing your face. These go along with those soap papers that you saw earlier, and you can get a real good lather going. You could really clean the pits, all three of them, if you know what I'm talking about, and feel pretty refreshed. Plus you can use the second one as a drying towel. Then let them dry out. You can burn them in the fire so they disappear. All right, for those of us that have partials or plates, and when you get up to our age, you do, I always take a little bit of Stay-In or Effort-In or Polygrip with me. Little tubes, all you need. Probably the most important piece of paper in here, toilet paper. Tissue on the go. They sell this. Coolins has it. Very handy. There's a whole lot of paper there and no center. And of course, you can either bury this, and it's 2-ply bathroom, and it does disintegrate, but you still bury it or burn it. Now here's a larger towel Another piece of paperwork. This one here goes about 16 or 17 or 18 inches by 18 inches. So you have yourself a nice big towel to use. Put it on your head, wash your face, or dry everything off, to include your dishes, your pots and pans, your silverware. So you got something bigger to use. This is a little bit more coarse than the Coolin's 12-inch towels. Don't want to open it up, but I'm going to have to retape it because the tape has gotten dry. But I take along some Motrin and some aspirin. Now, Motrin, known as vitamin I, up on the app trail. You get sore day 2, day 3 after you start your hike. You take a Motrin. Now, these are the 800s. These are the big ones that I get from the military that I use for myself. And they're very good, they're very strong, and they last a long time. Oh, one more. Magic towelette. These things are so light. These things are so handy out in the woods, and it's only 1/8 of an ounce. It's not even a whole ounce. The other one, 4 ounces, same size. This one here is actually reusable. It actually turns into a cloth type towel to use. So you can wash with this and dry with the other one. But together, we're talking 1.2 ounces for all that paper. And they can be burned while in the woods. They can be burned. So they disappear, ashes. Well, as you can see, that's it. I've done the middle section. You've seen everything that was in there. And like I said yesterday, I believe it was, it's going to be light on the inside. I saved that extra room to put an extra shirt, pair of socks, underwear. Save that extra room in the middle section exactly for that stuff. You know yourself, feel so much better after day 2 to change that item of clothing. So that's it for today. We're going to take another break. We're only talking a couple minutes here. What was it, 5-7 minutes? But that's it. We're going to get into the big section and the outside of the pack the next time I come on. So have a good day. Stay out of the heavy storms that are supposed to hit. Bye. Had to back up just a little bit. I've made one small change. As I was putting it away, thinking paperwork, what's going to happen when paperwork gets wet and you're walking in the rain? So I decided to put the paperwork inside an Altoids, and then I'm going to tape this shut with some Gorilla Tape. That's an addition. We'll be back later. Okay, let's try to make this the last portion of this video. As you can see, wearing my favorite. It's very true. Let's go over the outside of the rucksack first. I have attached everything to the outside. Something easy and fast to get to, and I believe in taking along. It's pepper spray. Yeah, it got banged on the side. Still a lot in there. Have never used it. Hope never have to. Those of you that watch my other ones know that I'm a fan of buck knives. Love my buck knives. And just saw a wasp fly in here again. Of course, you all saw my little headlight. On the other side, I have my head net that has the bug shield already impregnated in it. We talked about these before. I've got 2 of them, one to wipe my sweat. Mints along the trail. Man, I tell you what, you want to breathe clear, breathe clean, keep your nose open, go with mints. All right, bank line, invaluable out in the field. There's not a lot here, enough to tie a ridge line, maybe make a snare, tie up your cover, tie up a cover over your hammock, invaluable. My tent, The poles already jammed up inside. Very small, but you've seen it on my previous videos, and I'll probably make a cover picture for this video with this tent in the background up on the Appalachian Trail. Tarps. You can never have enough tarps. This is a light one. It's a 5x7. Covers a lot of area. It's good enough to stand under when it's raining like a bear. My hammock. Grand Trunk hammock. It's only one person, but I tell you what, you put your air mattress inside here and put a mosquito net over top of you. You got heaven out there when it's hot. Like I said, in the very first beginning of this, you saw the handle. I have it lined with nano line. It does not retain a memory. It is very strong. I am very happy with nano line. Look it up. Your 10-pound test of nano is about the size of 4 when you're talking regular fishing line, monofilament. There we go. Oh, lures. Flies and rubber lures are inside this. Not going to open it up. My cook set down at the bottom. Everything in here I need. Cups, 2 pots for cooking. It's good. Maybe I'll take it apart in the next video. My Primus. I have 2 stoves now. I'm happy with this one too. Very easy. I'm very happy with it. It does not have an electric starter, but that's why I got my lighter. Large military Band-Aid. Never know when you're going to need a large Band-Aid. Maybe not for yourself, but for somebody else. This here is a little bit different. See the little white marks on there? They're all fluorescent. I use this outside of the tent at night. Little bit of light on it. They flash really, really great. So you can see where the line is. It's black, but those little markers on there, they let you know where you're at. The second half of this one here has lures and spoons, spinners. This one has the flies and the rubber gear for fishing with hooks and sinkers and split shots. Attached to the top, and this is something I never knew, the ferrocerium rod actually got a little bit of rust on it, but I'm sure it's still working. Good little sparks on it. Now, this is what I mentioned before to go with my fleece sleeping bag. It's the liner itself. This raises the temperature 10 to 15 degrees inside that bag. Whether you put it next to your skin or on the outside of the bag, this thing really helps. Knife, fork, spoon. Knife stays in my pocket. I have a multi-tool that stays in my pocket 24/7. It's the Gerber. Very happy with it. Has a little saw blade. Has a regular blade. Has scissors. I'm very happy with this. It stays in my pocket all the time. Blades lock in place, plus the wire cutter and needle nose. I had actually pointed to the wrong thing. These are the 10 poles. The other side was the fishing rod. The tent poles were too long to fit inside the rucksack. I was out geocaching with a friend of mine, and we found an abandoned tent, and I mean, this thing was all torn up like bears had gotten to it, but all of the poles were in excellent condition, to include all the bungee cords between them. These are the smaller, the thinner ones. I believe they're 7/32 compared to the 9/32 or 1/4 inch that comes with the tent. But I measured these, cut them down so they would fit inside my rucksack. And keep the side all nice and straight. I'm not sure you can see it, but it fits right inside the left side, right there. Anyways, on this side is the fishing rod. Out of all the things that I purchased to go out in the woods with, I believe this is one of the most valuable things there are. A lot of other people that I know carry the very large roll on top of their bag or underneath. It's always banging me in the head. This is a Kelty air mattress. I don't even think they make them anymore. It's 72 long and it's 20 inches wide. Now my shoulders are wider than 20, but it's rare when I sleep flat on my back. I'm always on my side, never on my belly. But this thing here, it only blows up to 2 inches of thickness. But this thing is so good, my hips never touch the ground. I'm floating the whole time. This, to me, is invaluable. In Pennsylvania, of course, you got to have your fishing license. Mine's a senior, it's good for a lifetime. But the trick also there is, okay, if it's a real survival situation or a bug out situation, you're not going to need a license. You want to stay alive. Don't even have to show it. That's really about it. I've taken out the stuff I wanted to. I've taken the stuff away. Won't put it back in. I will now have room for food. I will have room for my water, which of course is on the back side of this. I'm not going to get it out. It's a regular platypus. You've seen that. I dried it before I put it away. The hose is still here with a valve on the end. I bought the new valve. Very happy with it. It's the 8-liter one. It's a lot of water. Not 8-liter. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 3.5 liter. I'm okay. Anyways, coming to the end of the video itself, I've got everything out, and I'm going to put it back in the way I want it and leave room for my food and some clothes. So I believe I'm ready to go, minus, I know you didn't see the sleeping bag. That fleece bag is still in my cabinet behind that rug. That'll get tied to the bottom, and if it rains, I'll put it inside so it'll stay dry. But that's it. Back up a little bit. These I weigh before I leave. There's so many ounces in here. It tells you how many fluid ounces are in here. In this case, it's 8.9. If I'm below 4, I don't take these with me. The lower they get, the harder it is to get a good burn going. I'm sure everybody knows about that. So that's about it. Thanks for joining. Glad you're looking. Really Big Monkey, you're in here. So are you, Bushcraft Bartons. Cole Craven, y'all are here. You're here with me. Come on out to the woods sometimes down here in Pennsylvania, maybe up on the App Trail. All right, later guys.